So it's 2008, and I'm at my dream job, right? Cisco Systems. I love technology, and I love to travel. And so Cisco has moved me all over the country, and we wind up in Las Vegas. Now, if you've been to Las Vegas, you know it's not all strip clubs and plastic Eiffel Towers. We lived in a fairly standard Vegas neighborhood, so our Vegas standard neighbors, he distributed Budweiser beer. She was his ex-stripper girlfriend, mother of his 2 children. And they made fun of us because we were vegetarian, didn't own a television, and didn't watch sports. But that was all cool because Cisco paid a pretty nice salary. Even when I got that phone call from my boss, letting me know I was laid off, that was still cool because of the severance. And I was very quickly recruited by a Cisco partner up here in Portland, Oregon. Now, we loved Portland because there were other vegetarians who didn't own TVs or watch sports. So it was great. It was like heaven. And this was all great and well and good. But 6 months later, I get that phone call again that I'm laid off. And it was that it hit me hard. I fell into a really deep and dark depression for being laid off twice in 6 months. I would go for walks in the woods and sort of stare off into space. That overwhelming sense of helplessness and hopelessness was unbearable. But I've always been an early adopter of social media. In fact, I started the Cisco Systems LinkedIn group in 2007. It now has 64,000 members. I trained my MBA class on LinkedIn in 2006, and they thought I was nuts. And I got to travel all over the country, all over Asia, meeting my LinkedIn contacts. And so I with all this newfound free time, right, when you're laid off, I began to combine my passion for social media with all of this job search training that I had gotten as an MBA grad. And what ended up happening was I was landing job interviews. By combining these two things, I began to regain control, but it was too early for me emotionally. So there I was at these job interviews. I remember one interview I had. The guy asked me if I had management experience. I said, sure. I'm married. I have a kid. Does that count? I was wasting my time. I was wasting everyone's time. And somehow that didn't feel right. I wanted to be helpful here. So what I decided to do is, as I was healing from this experience, I began to teach other people what I knew, what I had discovered. And I started my blog, Career Enlightenment, to do that. And with the intention of showing people that you can be in control of your career. You can overcome this feeling of hopelessness. You can start to craft what you're going to be doing next. Because there's a huge problem with unemployment discrimination. 80% of companies actively discriminate against unemployed people. So people who are unemployed, who are trying to get jobs, are working on a very big disadvantage to people who are just transitioning from one job to another. 80% of companies actively do this. So as I began to train job seekers all over the Portland area, I was getting phone calls like, I got hired, or I got found because of these tweaks that we made together on my LinkedIn profile. And so this started to grow and it became a business that I was running. And I felt that there was something more, that there was a wave that I was riding, that there were more people I could be helping. And so I thought that there was a book, and I had met someone who worked at Wiley. And I wrote him an email. This is not how you write a book proposal. Don't try this at home. But the idea was that there's something here. I have content that's really going to appeal and be very timely. A few months later, I got a reply, to my happy surprise, from the senior acquisitions editor at the For Dummies group. And not only, she said on the phone, not only is this perfect timing for us, but that our Job Hunting for Dummies book is 10 years old and has an entire paragraph on MySpace. And that's how job searching with social media for Dummies was born. And it took me 7.5 months to write. It was a labor of love, and it's doing great. It's only been on the market for 3 months now. I've sold over 4,000 copies. And I'm able to spread the word and help people all over the country, hopefully internationally as well, because it's my hope and my dream that I would have made just even a small difference in the lives of people, in the lives of Americans who are overcoming their sense of betrayal from corporate America. Thank you.